I want you to know something, that the bigger your dream is, I want you to understand the harder the grind. Luck is for leprechauns, and you ain't green. Luck is for leprechauns, and you're not green. I'm gonna say it again. Luck is for leprechauns, and you're not green. I'm not bringing you a fairy tale. What I am telling you is that if you're willing to go beast mode, you can have whatever you want. I'm a living example. You can start from nothing. Start from nothing. You know the story. Mom was a teenage mom. Start with nothing. Grandma had 14 kids. Start with nothing. 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. Mom got kicked out because she had me. Start with nothing. Start with nothing. High school dropout. Start with nothing. Homeless. 12 years to get a 4-year degree from the university. Start with nothing. If you are willing to grind. I believe effort, and you've heard me say it. Your mama might come from privilege. Your daddy might come from privilege. Your daddy might own a company. You might come from privilege. You might have a father that can give you everything your little heart desires, but you will not outwork me. I'm saying that some of you in this room, you might not be a lion yet. Some of you in this room, you might be an ant. You might have small beginnings. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources, but there's no excuse. You said, E.T., I'm not that lion. You might be the ant, and the ant has very little, but he's determined. He's strong. He has a dream and a goal, and he'll do whatever it takes. And I need you to understand that the bigger your dream is, the earlier you're going to have to get up. The longer you're going to have to stay up. The bigger your dream is, the more effort you're going to have to put in. And for those of you who raise your hand and put up 70%, you'll never see it. You'll never see it. For those of you who are 70% beast mode, 30% gazelle. I want you to think about those goals. I want you to taste them. I want you to internalize it. I'm not asking you to tell me what your goals are because I'm interested in hearing everybody in the room. I couldn't possibly do anything with it. Listen to me, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you to know how close. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. But more importantly, I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. When you said to yourself, when the ball comes down, this is what I want to accomplish. You're not the only person that wants to accomplish it. And now I ask you this question: what do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million in your company? You're not the only one that wants to be the president. You're not the only one that wants to be the CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You got to outgrind them. You got to get up earlier. You got to stay up later. You've got to execute, and you've got to go from 70 to 120. No excuses, guys. I wish you could pay me $1,000 today. And I could tell you 70% is enough. I wish you could pay me $1,500. I wish you could pay me $1,500. And I could say to you, 80% is going to get it. I guarantee, give me a $1,500. I guarantee you that I magic wand you, and 80% will be equivalent to 100% for you. Oof. But it's not going to happen. That's why I need you to understand something. You can have it if you want it. But the bigger the dream, the bigger the dream, the bigger the dream, guys, the bigger the dream, the bigger the dream, the harder the grind. And can I be honest with you guys? I'm grinding harder now than I've ever grinded before. Somebody said, E.T., somebody called me the other day, said, E.T., I don't know if you've been paying attention, and they were right, I haven't. E.T., we've been going online, and if you go on YouTube and you put the best motivational video of all times, right now, E.T., that's your video. How do you feel? E.T., I don't know if you did it, but I did it. The top motivational speakers in the world. And in some categories, E.T., you're there. You're like number 10, you're number 5, E.T. How you feel, E.T.? I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was easier when I wasn't on the list. It was easier because I wasn't focusing on it. It was easier when we didn't have one of the best audio books in the world. It was easy. But now that I see I'm getting close to Jim Rohn, I'm getting close to Tony Robbins. Now that I see it, guys, oh man, I used to feel comfortable with getting up at 3:30, but now before I was running with my head down, like some of you, I'm running with my head down, but I'm putting work in Monday, I'm putting work in Tuesday, I'm putting work in on Thursday, I'm putting work in on Friday, I'm putting work in on Saturday, I'm putting work in on Sunday, and for years we've just been, thank God it's Monday, we've been writing books and guru stories, elementaries, middle schools, high schools, colleges, NFL, NBA, AFL, rugby, and years, and then I put my head up and I saw Tony Robbins. You're thinking, I want you to get it out your system. You're thinking, I'm gonna work hard for 10 years, then I'll relax. And if that's what you're thinking, this ain't for you.
That's good stuff right there. That is good stuff right there. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Petty Pips. And I can really relate to that. You know, I've been doing this. I'm coming up on 5 years. It'll be 5 years next year, actually. So 4.5 years. And it's not like a game, y'all. It's for real. You know, you really do have to grind every single day if you want to be a trader, especially if you want to be a day trader. Swing traders, y'all have it a little different. Y'all have it a little easier, and be honest. But if you want to be a day trader and you want to trade the foreign exchange market, the most liquid, the most heavily invested every single day, everything is moving through the foreign exchange. If you want to trade that market every single day, guys, I mean, I don't know where you live around the world, but in America, if you want to trade this market, you got to wake up early, like ET says. I'm talking, I mean, there's strategies that I don't want to say you have to wake up early, but regardless, you have to grind and actually do this every single day, or else the consistency of actually being a real trader, that's what is really like sets you up to the next level. So you can know everything that you need to know about trading. You can be better than me at trading. Okay. You can be better than all of us. Okay. Good for you. But if you are not consistent enough to look at the charts like every day, or at least every other day, and you just don't have that in you, and you just, I don't feel like it today, then trading isn't for you because that's the consistency that you need to see the real results, right? So you can be the best trader, you can see all the imbalances and the Wyckoffs and the ICTs and all that stuff, but if you're emotionally unstable, if you're mentally unstable, if you aren't consistent, like if you aren't a consistent person, you aren't going to make consistent money. So that's how we're starting off today. Looks like news. We got some speakers coming up. We got some unemployment claims. I bet it's going to be way worse than this. I just have a feeling for some reason unemployment's about to ramp up in America. Fed Chairman Powell speaking tomorrow. I cannot wait to see what this dude has to say tomorrow, because ultimately everyone's anticipating this rate hike. Okay. If this dude doesn't say a single dovish comment, which means if he doesn't say something good about inflation is peaking, that's a good thing. If he says the word peak inflation, get ready for the dollar to sink. And in all the equities and Bitcoins and crypto to fly. If the Fed says anything about and what they are probably going to say is, we're going to continue to do what we said we're going to do, and we're going to hike rates 75 or 0.75 basis points. If they say that, then the market is going to probably continue to price in this bad, that's a bad market, bad environment. And before it even happens, that's what usually happens. Before the rate hikes even occur, which is going to occur the 21st of September, the market's going to price it in. And then when it gets there, it'll probably have a bullish reaction for some odd reason, right? But I'm really going to be interested to see what this dude has to say tomorrow at 8:10, such a random time. And then Friday, it looks like CAD unemployment, and more FOMC. They got a lot to say, I guess. So right now, we're about to look at the technicals. And the technicals, I've already been, looking at it. It's kind of up in the air. We're 50-50. So with the fundamentals right here, we're basically we're very hawkish right now, meaning the Fed is tightening. The Fed is on the more the defensive side. And when the Fed is like that, that's equity markets, or all markets, really risky. Any risky markets are kind of afraid, and not afraid. They just risk off. They don't want to take the risk right there. When the Fed starts to become dovish and they start to really switch their view on where they think inflation could go, where they think the bond market, all this stuff, that's when the markets start to pivot. Okay. Right now they are hawkish. They are extremely, extremely hawkish. And we're basically trying to anticipate when they're going to pivot. Now that is a dangerous game. So what that means is anything that you're looking for the dollar to drop. Okay, so if you know your correlations, if you're looking for the dollar to drop, or the indices to go up, or crypto to go up, or gold even to go up, anything else other against the dollar to go up, then I think it's very risky right now. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to work out, because at some point this whole thing's going to pivot and snap big time. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to play it to the outside, but I'm saying right now that everything is super hawkish. And until this dude says something dovish, I'm pretty much thinking the fundamentals are just going to drive the dollar to the upside and the equities to the downside. But let's check out the freaking dollar. And on the daily, we printed a bearish candle with higher volume than we've seen in the past couple of days. But you could see it's still within this channel. And let's make this channel darker so we can kind of see it. And yes, it is extended away from the 50 EMA. Eventually, it's probably going to do a nice correction. And, it could happen tomorrow. It could correct and start to correct down. This is the level first that I would expect a reaction off of. And this is like the 109 level. But it's the thing about trying to catch a top or a bottom is you see one bearish candle, one or two bearish candles, and you're like, oh, it's going to reverse. Most of the time, it just doesn't. Okay. And I mean, just look at the dollar. Most of the time, it just keeps going up and up and up and up. So as I say, I want to try to catch this move to the downside on the dollar tomorrow, because as you can see, we did make a very nice move down, broke structure really well here. So, if it can come back into this area, I would like to see it, possibly come down into here. But, with that being said, we'll keep kind of this on the chart. On the 1 hour, it's kind of holding this bullish structure. So this play is basically anticipating a lower high. If this move on the 15-minute right here, you see how the market made this move up, 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 and then the sink. If this move would have made just that lower high, I would be so much more confident in this setup right here tomorrow. I would put my chips all in on this setup. Like, And y'all know what I mean by that. Not full margin, but just like full on, I really believe this is going to happen tomorrow. But now, since it actually didn't create that lower high, it created a higher high. This is just a lower low. We have not set in the lower high yet. So we're anticipating it. If it happens, we're right. If it doesn't, we're going to be wrong in a big way, most likely. And this thing is just going to rip up like that. And that's okay. You know, it's okay. But this is a play. I'm definitely going to be looking at this on the dollar. You can't tell me you're not looking at it. But you can tell me I'm a fool for trying it, because it really most likely, guys, is going to rip above this. So the smartest way to play it, we can delete this zone. The smartest way to play these types of plays, in my opinion, is one or two ways. You're either the trader who really believes that this is the top of the market, and you better hold it. And you better hold it, because this could be right the top of the market, right? Or you're someone like me who's kind of like, it's probably not the top of the market, but I see the opportunity. So I will do something like this, and target something more realistic, right? More realistic. Like, there's more than likely gonna be a reaction here, right? There's more than likely, there's some imbalance right here. I know all y'all seeing that. I know y'all see this last up candle, all y'all specialized traders. Okay, there's probably going to be a reaction here. Is it going to start the new leg down? I don't think so. I think there's going to be something like this, and we're going to set in a new kind of move up, just a complex pullback. But still, that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow on the dollar. So if it does make this big move down, ultimately that's great. But I'm just going to be anticipating just a little reaction and get some play, you know, because when you really do look at this on the 4-hour time frame, there it's right at the 50 EMA. Yes, we are getting some, you know, a little bit of increase in this volume on the move down. I would say maybe kind of average still, but nonetheless, right, it's still within this channel. Now, it is a reversal pattern. It could be the top. That's why I'm saying this isn't a bad spot, but structure of the 4-hour hasn't quite broke yet. Now, this is interesting right here. On the 4-hour, it has the weekly point of control, and there is an open weekly point of control here, which is at the extensions. So last week's point of control. And then this week's point of control is right at that 61.8 pretty much. So let's go into the 1-hour and see where the daily point of control is right there. Interesting. So on the 1-hour is perfect for a sniper entry tomorrow. If it does get up here, I'm definitely taking my shot, because the point of control of today is right there. And all these manipulation traders, this is great for you, right? You get this little baby manipulation and then an impulse down. This is a textbook setup for damn near everyone in the world. What does that mean? There's going to be so much liquidity right here. If this thing rips up like that tomorrow, don't be surprised. But at the same time, don't not try to take this trade. That's a phenomenal setup. So we'll be looking at that, which means you got to pick which one you want to pair it against, and that's the fun part. So let's look at the euro first. And whenever I look at these currencies, I'm looking at the futures index, right? The futures of the euro, but the EU that has this exact pattern. Everything is exactly the same. It will sometimes slightly diverge, and that'll give a trade opportunity, but most of the time it's the same thing. I personally find just more value being able to analyze the full-on currency, because then if I analyze like the euro and I analyze the pound, I don't even have to look at EG. I know what EG is doing, but it helps me with GU and EU. And does that make sense? Okay. If that went over your head, nextwave.com, I got you. Okay, so it's the same thing, but the inverse on the euro right now. It's so risky to just try to buy it right here. Yes, it is in this demand zone. Yes, don't get that twisted. In a high, extremely higher time frame demand area from way back here, and this is probably like a 78.6 or some shit. But and we're reacting off of it. So that's why it's an opportunity. It's just an opportunity. Talk about risky. UJ is super risky. Oh yeah. My bad, Blake. I'm just seeing the chat. You ever still check the currency strength me there? I used to do that back in the day. Nope, I haven't done that in a minute. We would do that more for teaching purposes to show people like what that is. Because it is helpful, but if you can just read the price action, you don't need that. You can like project what's going to happen before that even happens. So yeah, the euro had a nice bullish day. Maybe, I've been saying we have some bearish divergence right here, or bullish divergence right here, and coming into a zone, it's a shot. We got to take the shots. When the structure breaks like this, that's dope. So the 4-hour structure on the euro broke, but the 4-hour structure in I don't know why I'm not in full clip mode. Let's go. The 4-hour structure on the dollar did not break. So that is showing that the euro strength is stronger than that is showing the euro is just stronger than the dollar is weaker. Hold on, how do I say that? Y'all get me. Yeah, you clearly see it. We're breaking the highs right here, and then the dollar isn't breaking those lows. So I'm looking at EU tomorrow to make a big move. I really am. It's coming into this area though, so you got to be a little careful. If it extends up here without this retracement first, then this is probably just gonna do a nice smooth move down, to be honest, guys. So what we're gonna be able to play on everything pretty much, since there was such an extended move, if anyone knows my style, and I'm sure Blake is seeing this as well, maybe at this point, Tad, I'm sure you're seeing it. If we don't get this retracement down and then up, I'm talking it needs to retrace way deeper than this, and it just continues to go up, what is it going to do? What does that mean? Does anyone even know what that means? If the market doesn't retrace after an extended move and it just continues to go. So if we have an impulsive move and then we retrace and then we impulse and then we retrace and then we impulse, that's beautiful market symmetry. That's how the market is supposed to move. Or more or less, that's how you want the market to move. Close, my dude. And you're not wrong by saying manipulation, but what am I the king of? If we could crown me something, they would crown me something in this industry. And it would be divergence. So if this market volume of divergence, there we go. There we go. Yeah. If the market continues to impulse, and we'll go down to the 15, we'll be able to really see it now, guys. If the market continues to move without correcting proper, and that's the major thing of divergence. You need to understand how the market is supposed to move, and then you need to understand how divergence is supposed to look. And when you can do both of those, bada bing, bada boom. So right here, this is an overextended market. And to be honest, on the 5-minute, 1, 2, 3 waves, it made the 3-wave move up and corrected back to the 50 EMA. But on this 15-minute, we have this overcorrection or overextended move, under correction. If it doesn't correct at least 50%, in my opinion, it didn't correct enough. And this is just with experience. It's not a full-blown system that I've 100% back tested a million gajillion times. I've traded it a million gajillion times and with good results. So if it comes down into this 50 EMA and then moves up and creates divergence, it's not as strong. But if it kind of holds off this 50 right here and then just moves up without any more correction, that's going to give me an idea, because the momentum will 100% do that. The momentum will not exceed the momentum we just saw on this push, but price will. So that's how it's so easy to see when the market is about to diverge. Let's see. And also, like I said, on the 4 hour, it has this volume right here. So it would be going straight into the volume with divergence. And that's perfect. It doesn't get more perfect than that, actually, because on divergence moves, you're just looking for a little snap. You're not, I mean, you can confirm it with a bigger trend move, but if you're just seeing, oh, there's divergence, let's take a trade, which is me, I'm that guy. I am not looking for the rain to fall out of the sky randomly, right? I'm just expecting the market to come up here, hit this thing real quick, and then give me some play. I'm a sniper, so it's a sniper move. It's scary every single time, but I'm pretty confident in it. I'm very confident in EU tomorrow. If EU comes down, and yes, I know we're not looking at EU, like I said, but if EU comes down tomorrow, look for a move to the upside, straight up. It looks perfect, picture perfect. Broke the highs here, here. So broke multiple levels of structure. It has like this impulse and then this little bear candle. That's going to be the play. And then boom. This one looks like it could extend versus the dollar doesn't look like it's going to extend, in my opinion. I think the dollar is just going to fake out here and then do this. And if that's the case, EU will only do something like this and then ultimately fail. All right, let's go to the pound. The pound. Ooh, nice little manipulation here on the pound. We're going to be playing some moves, I guess. Interesting. Okay, so the daily is what we need to look at first, and it came into this backside of this trend line. And with the fire of the volume, I mean, major participations. That's all volume means. A lot of players in the game right here. So I'm interested. If y'all are interested, I'm interested. That's how you need to look at volume, kind of. And if there's not a lot of volume, maybe don't be so interested unless it's divergence moves, right? So I'm interested. Who knows what's going to happen? No one really knows, but it does look like players are in the game. So let's go to the 4 hour. Obviously, it's bearish as shit, and that goes without being said. And the 4 hour structure has not broken. So the euro looks better, right? Just off the rip, euro looks stronger. And let's just show that real quick. Euro broke this 4 hour structure. This 4 hour structure high is at September 6th at 1 o'clock. Let's go to the pound and compare that. Come on now. Go to the pound, 4 hour structure on the 6th at 1 o'clock right here. It has not broken. So that is telling me the euro is stronger than the pound right now. Sometimes you get caught up in like, this one hasn't taken off yet. So like that could be a scenario as well. I like to look at just what is stronger than the other and try to play what's already stronger than what needs to try to catch up. Because usually you get caught up in L's doing it like that. If you're looking at kind of strength analysis, which goes deep into the Wyckoff, guys, deep into the Wyckoff. You don't know what Wyckoff is, nextwave.com, tradethenextwave.com. Okay, right here is a kind of a, I mean, we're going to play this as well. It's picture perfect manipulation move. We teach this in the education course. Like, this is picture perfect. The only thing that is just about this is the market is just bearish, 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 bearish. So technically we're trying to catch a bottom. And I don't love trying to catch bottoms. I really don't. But nonetheless, it's a play. It is definitely a play. So what I like about this one versus EU is on the lower time frames, this has the manipulation. So the market did make a nice manipulation move here and then broke structure as well right after that. Now this is the 1 hour, so it didn't break the overall swing structure. So that's why I think overall the euro is a little prettier, like maybe for the probability, but this is still just as beautiful. Some people like thick girls, some people like skinny girls, some people like tall girls, some people like small girls, some people like all girls. This is like that. This is just like that. This might be a thick girl, and then the euro might be a skinny tall girl. I don't know. Okay, I like this one a lot, though. I'll tell you that. We're gonna go with this right here, and I mean the manipulation is right at the 70%. So what do you want to do? We're gonna wait for that 78.6, and then this looks, I mean, picture perfect liquidity right here. Picture perfect. I'm not even kidding. This one looks picture perfect. Which I'm not even kidding even more. It makes it look even more suspect. But it doesn't, you can't look at it like that. It's like when you look down at pocket aces, are you thinking I'm about to lose this hand? No, if someone puts you all in, you go all in when you have pocket aces. Every single time. If someone puts you all in pre-flop, if you have pocket aces, you have to go in. That's the best hand. This is the best setup that we can possibly see, honestly. So you got to play it. And if you lose, you lose. Who cares? Don't be a baby. This one, on the other hand, doesn't look as good. So we're not going to spend as much time on it, except we're going to look at the daily. Not much volume on the downside, so it might be a quick move back up. And we'll see, and it looks pretty enough to play, and we all can see that. Bright as day. And everyone in Next Wave could see it at least. Like straight up obvious. Now this Aussie didn't react the way I personally wanted it to at this demand area. So to me, it seems like it probably is gonna continue to the downside. We're getting this pickup in volume right here as the market kind of broke this low right there. I don't think this is just going to stop. For some reason, this looks like it's picking up strength to the downside, and I'm not here for it. So since it didn't kind of do what I initially wanted it to do on a weekly analysis, I'm holding off on this. The other ones are kind of doing more what I wanted them to do, if that makes sense. So let's just really quick though, analyze it. I'm most likely not going to mess with it. Right. It's still in this downtrend, just like everything else. It hasn't really broken out, except like the euro, like I said, kind of did. Hasn't broken out of this 4-hour structure on September 5th. Still, so there's no real reason to, and I'm going to delete this demand. There's no real reason to buy just quite yet, unless you go into the 1 hour and maybe you want to try to play this this opportunity here, like we're trying to play on GU and EU. But in my opinion, I'm just not a AU kind of guy, really. Number one. Number two, I don't like these equal lows. And number three, this one looks like the weakest out of all three of them. So it might be the one that hits. You might want to play them all, see which one hits. Go ahead, not me. So let's go into the Swiss. And honestly, I've been neglecting the Swiss franc a little bit. I need to really zone in on this guy right now. So in fact, this is interesting. It's reacting. Basically what happened today is the dollar made one bearish candle and everything else made one bullish candle. So everything paired against, or everything that's not the dollar, is going to look a little bullish. It's all good, bro. It's going to look a little bullish, and then everything else is going to look a little, or the dollar is going to look a little bearish. but it's still at these bottoms. So that's what just is so annoying. I wish this pattern would have happened right here. See, that would have been a lot more high probability to expect the market to kind of wave like this. But since it's all the way down here, making this pattern, it's kind of making me think we're probably going to do one more move down and then do another one of these patterns, and it'll create the move that we really want to see. But nonetheless, it's a possibility that this could have been a little fake out of this channel. You know, some people like to draw harmonics. I used to love harmonics. You got the X to A to B, B to C, C to D inside of another harmonic. So if you're a harmonic player, okay, you probably are looking at this like, oh my goodness, let's buy the mess out of this. Okay, we got that big harmonic there. Then we got this smaller harmonic inside here. So there are some fib patterns, Fibonacci going everywhere, crazy fibs, but we are not Fibonacci traders like that. We're just normal Fibonacci's. We're looking for the buy still though, honestly. Yeah, we all remember the harmonic scanner. That thing is dope. Let's not lie about that. I wrecked on that thing. I'm not gonna lie. I used to murder that thing. The harmonic scanner, I murdered that thing. This looks very Wyckoff-ish. So what I'm gonna do is delete that. I'm gonna delete some stuff. I don't need all this. This is this area that I really wanted price to react at and it didn't. So I'm gonna delete that as well. This is going to be the area where I expect price to get back into and then react. So I'm just going to simply wait for that to happen on the Swiss. If it continues to extend up and do something like this, then I'm going to anticipate divergence like a hoe and see this fall. And if it comes all the way up, I mean, there is no other area of, there is not really any area of volume that's interesting to me except way up in that zone. So let me go to the 4 hour actually, because the euro had that little clean move that this doesn't have none of that up there. If this seeks and destroys like all the way up there, that'd be nuts. Daily, is there anything right here? Nathan? All right, that's cool. Let's turn this on. All the way up here. Okay, here we go. We got something to work with right here. Is this the September? So this is the monthly POC. I'm just going to highlight it in yellow. 1 hour. Okay, if price comes back down into this, that'll be probably a play. I don't know if I'm really messing with that though, because I need a deeper retracement than that. So we'll see. I'm liking the possibility of the Swiss starting to pop though. It is there definitely. Might get one more sweep and it might completely reverse, but this type of momentum, how could you not I mean, I guess the volume isn't 100% with it, you know, it's definitely not really actually. So that's the downside to this. But the price action, come on, it failed to make a new low and made a new high. So that's the definition of a trend change. And if we're playing on the 1 hour, that's what we're looking at. If it continues up, we're looking to sell that. All right, let's go to the crazy yen. Oh, what do we have here? I should have had an alert, or maybe I did and it went off and I didn't even look at that, but wow. Okay, so 1G, no, 1 day. And I had this divergence fib from the daily sitting right here and a backside trend line sitting right here. And it looks like we just came in and tapped both of those. Extremely high volume. I mean, I don't really want to just buy it because of those things right there. But what it means to me is that if it starts showing bullish signs on the lower time frames, I have higher confidence and confluence to trade it to the upside, even though it looks scary as hell to buy. But at this point, this is the lowest the yen has ever been. It hit my divergence fib. There is technically still flat divergent, like the momentum is flat as the market is screaming down. So there is still a form of divergence, but it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker as we freaking speak. 4 hour, I mean, the recent momentum is definitely there. There's no doubt about that. So I would need to see some like major divergence for me to believe that this type of momentum isn't going to continue down. There's no reason for me to think this momentum isn't at least going to make one more move down, at least one more move. So let's go to the 1 hour now. And we can start to see, this is how we're going to play this. Wyckoff like a mug. This is, I'm going to delete this divergence fib. I understand it. It got into my area. Backside trend line, we can keep it, but we don't need it. How we're going to play this is Wyckoff times 10. So we have an extended move down, and now we have a automatic, we have a reaction here, and we're probably going to see this dump right off. That's what happens most of the time. Then we're going to see a quick move up, and that's going to give us kind of a confirmation. And then if we can see it do this right here, that will be the phase A. And if it can form all of these points right here, we will kind of be ready for another move down and a lot of shakeout probably. Who knows what could happen in phase B. And then after a lot of noise here in phase B, we're waiting for phase C, and it's either going to just ramp up there or it's going to spike down one more time. And on phase C is when we're ready. We're going to be ready for the yen to move up on phase C. It's been long enough, yen. We're ready for you now. So when it does all this jazz, and it doesn't necessarily have to look just like that, but when it does all that jazz, or even gets close to some jazz, give me a little bit of Marvin Gaye even, and we're gonna buy you, because we're not scared. Even if it does this right here, I'll consider that Wyckoff enough for me, and I will look for this thing to start to reverse on a real level. Okay, so it's a patience game for the yen. UJ is going to continue to go up. I almost guarantee it. Don't try to sell it yet. I'm kidding. It probably has a okay setup right now, actually, with the dollar dropping and this giving a nice little pop. And really, if we break it down to the 15, it could very well start another move up. It could. And I don't want to don't get me twisted, but we're not. I'm closing my UJ. Oh, whoa. I'm not telling you to do Nathan, but let's just look at UJ real quick because I'm interested. Yeah, I mean, no, like I said, it could make this extended move down right here. It could easily make that extended move down. And then I just at this point, I would probably think maybe we would see a move up just based off like a B C type move, and then probably like it would probably have to wave out a little bit, and then boom. Or since it's really showing that there's not a lot of volume right here, dog, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hold this short if you're in profit. Hold this short because it could ultimately fall all the way down here. This volume, I mean, there's nothing to compare it to because UJ has never been up here. So it's like, I mean, let's go to the 1 hour. Like, yeah, there's nothing to really compare to. But right here is like an area where there is a good amount of volume. So it could hold here as well and then go up. I'm not trying to. UJ is the last pair I want to give advice on. Let's go back into the Forex. So that's the yen. Let's look at gold. And gold's interesting right now. Everything's kind of in an interesting spot right now, to be honest. Okay. Seeing what I had drawn on this thing. Okay, let's go to the daily. And the swing from a couple weeks ago still swinging, but we spoke about this demand area this week at the weekly analysis, and we ultimately shout out to one of our students, Cole, who just started streaming live on YouTube, caught a legit 1-to-20 risk to reward ratio, and it was dirty. We all caught it. It was crazy. Get on those sessions and make money with us. We're not IML. Oh my God. Like, we have to do some form of marketing to get people to look at our sessions, but like, y'all, we don't need you to watch our shit. We are traders. We just want to literally help people make money. All right. I'm not going to get on the rant. Let's look at gold. The daily is printing a nice bullish candle, completely erased the daily candle. I'm honestly more in favor of this to go up than down at this point. 4 hour. You know, it's still risky, by the way, but yeah, I mean, it failed to make a new low here. And we're starting to possibly move up, make a new high. If it could have broke this 50 EMA, that'd have been a little better, but it didn't. That's cool. Let's go. I mean, technically this right here is still some extra liquidity down low. I do want to actually just say this low at 1680 can get broken at literally any time. Gold can snap at any time and it can break. I need to always just say that, remember that. Futures price is going to be a little different than what you're looking at. So don't take that 1680 too literal. It's that zone down there at the weekly. This is what I'm looking at basically on gold to do tomorrow. If it can come back down into this 50, into this weekly point of control, or sorry, daily point of control, I'm looking for a move up. I'm looking for another move up. I do see, you know, I definitely see this little up candle and then down move. I could be 100% wrong right now. Gold could have just came into like the heaviest supply and could just 100% that could happen. But I'm playing this 1 hour trend momentum. That's what I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. Just for a little bit right here. If it doesn't extend out all the way, that's okay. I'm gonna manage it kind of tight right here tomorrow. So I like gold for the move up. Yeah, because if the dollar starts to pop tomorrow, woo, right? Or everything is really gonna just die. Literally everything. And I use silver as confirmation. So let's just check what silver's feeling right now. Silver did a nice bullish divergent move, made a lower low, and it's coming up low volume though. Let me check 4 hour. It looks more corrective than anything, to be honest, but I like the momentum right here still. So I'm okay with gold buys tomorrow. Confirming it with silver, it looks okay. There is supply right here though. I can't even lie. So this might do the digital as well. If you want to look for sells on something right now, silver or gold probably isn't a bad move. Not even gonna lie about that. Let's look at gold one more time. Yeah, we were looking at this. It's unfortunate that we didn't take this one. Oh, all right, let's go to the oil industry. Wow, so oil did end up reacting a little bit. We marked this off from the weekly. We had a reaction and ultimately a failure. So now it's in looks like a daily zone. Yeah. Ooh, big candle down yesterday. Okay. So it's in a swing zone now. Let's go ahead and just delete that. It's in a swing zone now. I don't necessarily think it's just going to go up because of that, but now I'd be really looking for, I mean, I was looking for bulls in that area, still looking for bulls, but there's no divergence now. So the market's starting to converge. So we'll probably ultimately see this move happen on oil. So you can really watch for that. You know, we don't really trade oil too much, but I will be setting this alert because this looks just clean. This does have a little bit of liquidity right here. It could spike up and then do that, but hell, it could do anything. So this is a good opportunity. I'm put the alert at the 61.8 just to then, you know, how I like to see it. If it retraces too fast, then forget that most of the time. Okay, the VIX is, ooh, the VIX put in a nice bearish candle right in the middle of the freaking range. No. So this is literally bullish for the indices and bearish for the dollar. It could just be one fucking candle, and then tomorrow we could be breaking this high. So I'm trying not to think that it's just like gonna crash on us, and it won't let me go lower. But yeah, the VIX, I would really like to see it just kind of maybe even just do this. And it might take a little longer than we want. So we might see the indices come up a little higher than we want. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at that. Because they are in a swing buy zone. I know that's for sure. Let's go delete some stuff. I don't want to see any of this. I just want to see, I'll keep that. Keep this. And this is kind of where it ultimately is reacting off of this swing area. And they're all reacting the same. Oh my goodness. Too many alerts, too many marks. Little OCD when it comes to that. I would rather remark up my chart. Same swing. This one ultimately hit the 78.6. And then same swing. This one hits 78.6 as well. So it looks like to me, these things could start swinging up from here a little bit at least. You know, it does look very overextended on the daily, so that does make sense that they should start to at least correct a little bit. Let's go back to the S&P though, and we'll go into let's go to the 4-hour. And right, it had the perfect bullish divergence coming into the 70%, you know, with the falling wedge, everything you kind of look for a reversal. And now we have a nice break of structure. Let's go into the 1 hour so we can really see this. So now we have a 1 hour break of structure right here. Technically, this is like major supply still. So if the market does get up here without correcting, we should expect a bearish reaction. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've said that like 4 or 5 times this stream. I'm not lying about shit, guys. So we can maybe expect a bearish reaction if there's some divergence, like I'm saying, because the market will ultimately all diverge at the same time, or it's going to like and probably break through that. So that's what I'm looking for. It's either going to give me some form of divergence to sell here. Really, I could be selling it right now, honestly, and be kind of okay with this price. But I don't want to do that. I would rather wait for it maybe on the 15-minute time frame even to diverge more, because right now the momentum is still kicking. And if this could pop up and then give me some love, that would be better. Or even give a channel like this, that would be like ultimate love. All right. Other than that though, I'm looking for buys, I think, on these tomorrow. And y'all better watch Cole's live tomorrow because when these have opportunities like this, they could pop off really big risk to rewards. That's what we do. I can already show you levels that we're going to be looking at. I could refine these. And Cole will refine these, but ultimately these are going to be levels that we're going to be looking at. And if this makes another high tomorrow, you're going to see another 1 to 20, 1 to 15, 1 to 20 trade from Cole. I'm not kidding. It's possible. That's the thing. We understand the probabilities in next wave. It's not like I'm gonna put my stop loss here and I'm gonna put my take profit here, and there's a 1 to 20. No, that's not how it works, guys. It's just not how it works. So that's gonna be the same on all these. The bonds, let's look at the daily. And guys, look, there's so many ways to make money in the market. Don't get me wrong. There are very few ways to make money consistently in the market. Okay. It has a lot to do with money management. Your favorite YouTuber or your favorite person on IG who like drives a Lamborghini or who flips these crazy accounts, they film every single thing they do and then they post the best stuff. Don't like do your favorite YouTubers and favorite guys, do they go live every night? Do they live trade for you in the mornings? Do you make money with them? No. What do you see though? You see all the stuff, everything else besides the actually doing it. I'm telling y'all, it's not a game to us, it's a game to them, and they're playing y'all. Not y'all because you're on the real shit, but like people who aren't really with it, they're getting played so hard, and I feel so bad for them. And all. I've just been in the industry long enough to know it, and that's the only difference. This is a divergence fib up here. I'm basically waiting for the bonds to get a little bit higher before I call this snap on them. They might already be ready to snap, to be honest. The dollar might snap. This thing might snap already. Everything is in an area where this whole macro situation could start to roll over. I'm personally just waiting for the ultimate best time. It could be now. We're getting this shift right here, and we ultimately have been looking for this area right here, and we're getting a nice bearish move now. So, I mean, yeah, it could happen right now. I want to see the 10-year break this structure first, because I mean, look at this bullish move. That's perfect. Nothing bearish about this at all. In fact, the momentum is rather flat, but the recent momentum is still kind of bullish. So I would love to see this make another move up. Let the dollar rip up again. Who cares? We'll be wrong. I still want the macro move to happen, the biggest macro move ever, which is going to be my crypto move, which brings us into crypto, right? Bitcoin made a huge sink down. It stole off on them boys right here, big time. Now, is this a like liquidity spike and we're going to end up coming out of that? If it does this, I will be very bullish. I will be very, very bullish, to the point to where it might make sense that could be a bottom. That would make sense to me if this moves up with swiftness. Guys, we gotta kind of think that could have been the bottom. It really barely broke this low. I know there was a flush out of liquidity. Even just this much flushed out a ton of liquidity, and really it was this move right here, okay, took a ton of liquidity out, and then this move barely breaking out this low right there took a little bit more too. So it could, and then this low gets taken out by this move, right? So it could we gotta wait. We gotta really wait to see if it bounces off hard. This got mitigated. This, who cares? This is that's open daily POC. It doesn't matter. I need to really see what's gonna happen because the 4 hour just has this bearish 3-wave divergence that's making me think, yeah, that was possibly the bottom. And if I didn't have a divergence fib here, oof, I messed up. Oh wait, I did. That's what this mark is. I don't know. Either way, this was a potential bottom in my opinion, and it just based off of technicals, it could be a potential bottom. But if we go to the 1 hour, I'm still thinking maybe hopefully it's not the bottom. I'm looking at this area here, and if this area holds, it should move to the downside. So up in that, I don't know why I use this arrow. And then probably another swift move down. We'll probably get a reaction here. So probably something here. And then to make people think, oh, this is the bottom. And then, wow. And if it ever does break this low, guys, it should really go low, 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 low. That's kind of my view on Bitcoin right now. I'm not very bullish yet until it really shows me that this was fake news. Ethereum merge is coming up. So let's look at Ethereum. This one is a little bit more interesting. Next wave students, I'm going to pull the biggest trigger on Ethereum. If it does exactly 1,000,000% what I want it to do, I'm going to pull the biggest trigger on Ethereum that anyone's ever seen. But it needs to do exactly what I want it to do. Bitcoin needs to do exactly what I want it to do. And the whole crypto market needs to act right before I pull this crazy trigger. But essentially, you can see how Ethereum isn't even close to the lows and Bitcoin has already slapped the lows. So what that is showing is just major strength in Ethereum. And if Bitcoin makes a big flush down, I think Ethereum is going to flush down too, but it's just going to flush into an interesting area. So that's all I got to say about Ethereum. Really, it's not something that I'm going to be trading right now. I don't think it hit an area where we wanted to look at, but it just got there really fast. So it was a little scary. We don't like playing these fast retracements, but it did hit the 78.6 and it moved and hit the 61.8. It's probably going to move a little bit lower and then come up into these areas. I will, if the 1 hour gives a divergent move like this, I will maybe look for it, but this is sideways stuff. And divergence and sideways, I have not been tested too much. I usually am not a sideways market kind of guy. So more of like an extended market kind of guy. Nonetheless, I still see it. And that is going to be it. I do want to kind of look at the crypto. This guy. I haven't looked at this guy in a minute. Okay. Very cool. Actually, that's not very cool. Okay, so here's what I have been correlating. I've been correlating Bitcoin and the entire crypto market basically with the market cap of the USDT dominance, and ultimately when this goes up, Bitcoin goes down and the rest of the market goes with it, right? So what I'm seeing right here is one of AB's ugly fibs, is what we call them, just like a correction fib. Really, there is a little impulse right here, don't get me wrong, and we're reacting off of it. This could sink one more leg lower, and then the timing of a macro timing perspective is not easy. Don't get that twisted. But what I'm seeing right here is, you know, this pattern. Let's bring this right here. And it's kind of a rising wedge. And I want to see one more pop up here. And then I would think that this should fall down. I don't really love this area just randomly right here in the middle of nowhere. I would need it to either come up to the top of this channel, or I would need to come up into this volume up here for me to kind of think that this is, because this looks like an impulse, retrace, impulse on the 1 hour. So let's go down into the 1 now. And this is really where I'm building my bias that Bitcoin is going to drop. There was a perfect flag, picture perfect flag off of this impulse flag. We're breaking out, we're retracing. Okay, if it does this, kind of comes up and then falls, makes this ABC wave. This will do this. And if this has bullish divergence right here, and when it gets back into this, I'm not even kidding, this thing is about to fly up. So that would ultimately be the worst thing for Bitcoin, worst case scenario for Bitcoin. I don't know how low Bitcoin would go if this happened, because this happened and Bitcoin sunk. Let's see, how much percent? Let's just call it top to bottom. 7%. Okay. If it does it again from this area, another 7% drop would be around here at 18. But if it breaks this low, it's not going to stop there. I'll tell you all that much. It'll come down into this low. And it already looks like it's going to do that. I mean, the futures chart is a little different. But yeah, this looks to me like it's most likely coming down into this area. And then, I mean, it might be a buy, but I'm not going to look at any other cryptos. I'm not going to look at anything else, unless y'all want me to. Like y'all want me to look at GJ or some shit, probably. Just kidding. I'll look at whatever y'all want me to. I'll stay on for about 5 more seconds. Let's see what EG is really talking about. Yeah. Giving this Wyckoff look, in my opinion. GA. GA with a little 4-hour possibility. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, 15-minute. What's going on with this? That's a little short, maybe. That don't look bad. EA 15-minute though does not look the same, so that's funny. Definitely diverged though. AU 5-minute, 15-minute buys. Yep. GJ. Let's look at GJ. Okay, GJ. You've been going up for a minute, haven't you? You definitely, people are trying to sell you so hard right now, it's not even funny. Okay. So wait for manipulation, in my opinion, on GJ. Wait for manipulation. If you see it run up and you're risky, sell it. If you see it run up and you're risky, sell it, because you might have caught a move. Interesting. Very interesting on AJ. Failed to break the high, impulse low. I will have to set this up as well down here tonight for sure. All right. That's gonna do it. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Y'all have a good one. Peace.